How's it going, people? Welcome back to the match preview. We're here for Newcastle United versus Arsenal in the Carabao Cup second leg semi-final. Of course, currently 2-0 on aggregate to Newcastle as Arsenal go away to St James's Park tomorrow evening, 8 p.m. kickoff, guys. Can Arsenal turn it around? Get your thoughts down below. Make sure you guys smash the like buttons up. And if you are new, do consider hitting the subscribe button as well. We are on the road to 10,000 subscribers. We are going to hear from a Newcastle fan towards the end of the video, so make sure you guys wait until the end to hear from a Newcastle perspective. We're going to be listening to Carl from 100% Magpies. He's going to give his thoughts on the game, so big up to him. But before we do that, let me just quickly talk about the game. Let me know, can Arsenal fans in the chat, can we turn this game around? Can we make it to the final? Obviously, it's going to be a really, really hard task against this Newcastle side. But let's get right into the preview, people. Obviously, we're going to start with just recapping the game. As things stand right now, going into the second leg, Arsenal find themselves 2 goals down, 2-0 on aggregate to Newcastle. If we quickly go back to the Emirates game, Newcastle deserved that, man. You know, there was by far the better side. We just wasn't up for it, man. You know, I was so disappointed watching that game. We saw Isak, once again just dominate us. This guy, Alexander Isak, I mean, I've never seen a guy do what he did to a player like William Saliba. I've never seen a player get done the way how William Saliba got done by Isak in the Emirates game. And he did, guys. We all love Saliba. But not just Saliba, our whole defence. These guys, they just look frightened of Isak, man. And once again, scored against Arsenal. And I think it was it Gordon with the other goal as well. I can't remember who got the second goal. But it doesn't matter, people. 2-0 at the Emirates. This first leg could come back and it could really haunt us, people. Yes, it's not over until it's over. But if we're being honest with it, people, that first leg was embarrassing. To lose like that at the Emirates Stadium, that was not good enough whatsoever, people. And Newcastle have a very, very big advantage, especially being at St James's Park for the second leg, holding on to a 2-0 lead as well. But yeah, that was appalling. We know their quality, and the crazy thing is as well, there's missing some of their big players. Fabian Schär was out injured. Bruno Guimaraes in the midfield was out injured. But yeah, they still performed like that against Arsenal. We still performed like that. Once again, it was in that game, it was all for in the final third, all for end products. And Newcastle deserved that win. So credit where credit's due to them, well deserved. And honestly, if it was only one leg, they'd be hoping it's only one leg. Because they would have obviously gone through, and I think they deserve to go through as we speak right now. Unless we go to St James's on tomorrow and we actually turn up and proper, turn it around. But we'll talk about that in a minute, where I think it will happen or not. So let's talk about Arsenal struggles when we play away at Newcastle as well. 2 years in a row now, it has been poor. 2 years in a row, Newcastle beat us by a goal to nil. We've not scored against them in 2 years away at St James's Park. Obviously, we've had, I think, 2 shots on target in the 2 years as well. That is it. So we know how poor in the recent seasons it's been at Newcastle. Obviously, I know the 1-0 the first time was obviously due to that, ridiculous decision. But even in that game, we played so bad, that we didn't even deserve to get anything out of the game anyway. And obviously this season already, they beat us 1-0. Guess who scored? Isak again in that one. And we just, completely struggled to break them down. They were very well. What I will say, playing Newcastle this season, twice already, they've scored 3 goals and we've not scored against them. They're a very well organised side. They really are, man. And they're a side that's going to definitely make it frustrating for Arsenal. They've shown that they can set up. They've shown that they can suss Arsenal out as well. Even when even on the set pieces, like if we get a corner, they've shown that they can prevent that. That's one of our strengths, of course, as we know. But they've shown that they can prevent that as well. And every time we play up against them, Eddie Howe seems to find a way. And that's my biggest worry, really, is like they're very well organised side. And what we don't like with Newcastle is that physical battle. I feel like they're a very physical side as well. And if we can work out the physical battle, then we could have a chance. But I just think every game we played them, they've always found a way to really sort of like prevent us from playing. And as well as their shape as well and their defensive sort of structure, we find it very hard to break them down. And that's, very, very worrying going into this game. Obviously, St James's Park as well. Let's not forget it's Wednesday night. evening under the lights. It will be absolutely rocking, people. The atmosphere, the players will be fired up for it. They have a lead to hold on to, people. And they've got a good lead. It's a fantastic deficit. They're 2-0 up. They're 2-0 up at home when they know they have a chance to make a Carabao Cup final. A chance at Wembley is at stake. They'll be fired up for it, people. 100%. 100%. They'll be fired up for it. If I had to pick a positive out of this, and a flip side, if we look on the flip side of this, maybe a pressure could possibly get to them. Because you've got to think about it. Holding a 2-0 lead, you get an early goal in the game, or Arsenal score early on. It goes 2-1 on aggregate, obviously. Could the pressure get to Newcastle? Could they collapse? Possibly. That could be a possibility. But right now, you're looking into this game, you're looking at their favourites to go through in terms of the tie. Their favourites, to go through in terms of overall. I think winning this game, Arsenal could win the game, but it may not be enough to obviously progress through to the final. So yeah, as we know, it's going to be very tough at St James's Park for sure, people. So obviously, could momentum play a big factor in this game? Arsenal came off the back of winning 5-1 against Manchester City, and Newcastle, since their win against Arsenal, have actually dropped off and they've been pretty poor. And even at St James's Park twice now, Bournemouth battered them. They scored 4 goals against Newcastle. That 4-1 game, and even Fulham as well beat them in the last minute, 2-1, of course. So could momentum play a factor into this tie? Because you've got to look at it, Newcastle were in flying colours against Arsenal, but ever since they beat Arsenal, it's sort of been a bit downhill for them, and their form's dropped. Whereas ever since we've lost to Newcastle, Arsenal's point of view, our form's sort of been, we were playing a lot more free flowing, and that's shown. Obviously, the players should have that momentum from that confidence that beating Man City 5-1. Maybe that could play a factor as well. So both teams coming into this game, I think Arsenal are in the better form at the moment compared to obviously Newcastle. But obviously, when you look at it, it's a different competition. It's a cup competition, yeah. Second leg of a Carabao Cup. The first leg's already been done. I think the damage has already been done, and we have to try and overturn that for sure. So my next slide, we'll talk about some of their key players, obviously to watch out for, and then we'll go through how they're going to set up in their lineup. Isak is their main guy up front. He needs no introduction, people. He always has a game against Arsenal, always turns up. This guy needs no introduction. I want us to clatter this guy. With all due respect to Newcastle fans, any Newcastle fans watching, big up yourselves, yeah? But with all due respect to you lot, yeah? I want Gabriel or Saliba just clatter this guy. I don't want what we saw in the first leg, yeah? When they just look, they look afraid. They look frightened to make a challenge. They look, and when Saliba did put a little foot in, he got completely done up. Completely done up. Someone just needs to clatter this guy. Show him that they're in the game as well. Because every time he's played us, it's been a walk in the park for him. And he showed up. He done us at the Emirates. He done us at St James's Park this season. He always finds a way. This Isak guy. Whenever he gets on the ball, this guy seems unstoppable. But if you just put a nasty tackle in him, man, just proper clatter this guy. I swear down. As much as I want to sign him, and please, Isak, come to the carpet, mate. I'll take you all day long. Proper striker, this guy is, yeah. But at the end of the day, someone needs to just clatter this guy. Let him know that they're in the game as well. At the end of the day, because we can't let him walk up. We can't let him give, have a stroll in the park, people. He's the main guy. Tonali, yeah. What a player. What a player Tonali is. Sandro Tonali. I watch him for my Italian team, as obviously for the Azzurri as well. And this guy's the future as well, man. What a player Tonali is. Bruno Guimaraes is back in there as well. We know he's a shithouse. As simple as that. We know he cause you some problems. We know he's a physical player. We know he's a very good player as well. So we've got to watch out for him. But yeah, they're obviously the main three that we've got to watch out for, in my opinion. So let's talk about how Newcastle obviously are going to set up for this game. They're going to most likely go with this. Any Newcastle fans in the chat, let me know if this is wrong and if you guys will change anything there. But Nick Pope should be in goal for them. I think he is back from his injury. Back four, obviously, should be Livramento. I think he had a really good game against Arsenal in the first leg. Right back, obviously, Fabian Schär does return. He was not in play in the first leg. I think he was suspended, but he is back. Most likely going to start for this one as well. At centre back, alongside Dan Burn, of course. Left back will be Lewis Hall. Midfield three will be Joe Linton. Again, I thought he bullied us in that first leg as well. He had a blinding game against Arsenal. Sandro Tonali and Bruno Guimaraes. That midfield is very, very strong for Newcastle. We got to watch out for that as well. And then the front three will be Anthony Gordon on the left-hand side. Again, he loves the game against Arsenal, doesn't he? On the right-hand side is going to be Murphy, who's been playing well this season. And leading the line will be the main guy, Alexander Isak. Obviously, we know, I think, players like Harvey Barnes has been good for them. He's out injured, but we know what Newcastle are going to do. I think they're going to play very similar to, I mean, considering the fact that they're 2-0 up as well, they ain't really got to do that much to really think about it. You know, if they keep Arsenal at bay, which they have shown that they can do this season twice now, where we've not scored against Newcastle, you know, I think playing away this season was a prime example. They got the early goal from Isak, and it's just, they was obviously very resilient when it came to defensively as well. And we really struggled to break them down because it's very well organised. So I think they can do it. I think that will be very similar because they're already 2-0 up. You know, they're already 2-0 up in the game, and they've got a very good lead to hold on to. Whereas the pressure's on Arsenal because we've got to at least score 3 goals. We've got to score 3 goals, but at the same time not concede as well. 2 goals taken to penalties, cool. But even 2 goals, we have to keep a clean sheet. 2-0. Well, you know, and they got players like Isak. One moment, all they need is one moment, one chance, one moment of brilliance, and he'll punish us. So, yeah, I think that's the team how they're most likely going to obviously set up against Arsenal. So let's go to obviously the team that Arsenal are going to go with as well. This is what I've gone with. I don't know if Arteta will do this, but let me know your guys' thoughts in the lineup in the comments down below, of course. So I think he's going to go obviously rare in goal. I think we've got to go full strength really. You know, we're not out of it yet. I know it looks unlikely, but listen, I'm sitting there thinking, let's turn this game around. Yeah, rare in goal for me. Back forward, Timber at right back picks himself there really. 2 centre backs obviously pick themselves, Saliba and Gabriel. Left back, I've gone with Carlo Calaflori at left back. Now Skelly's been playing so well. Don't get twisted, man. But I would rest him for the. Actually, no, because we got a break. I am going to go Calaflori, but I don't really mind who plays at left back. You know, both of them can do a job. I think Calaflori going forward can really benefit us. We're going to need a good start. We're going to need some goals, man. And I think him going forward could be really good there. But if you play Skelly, you play Skelly. I just think because Skelly's a young player and he's been playing a lot of football recently. But that's why I go on Calaflori. But Calaflori can equally do a job there for sure, especially going forward as well. So that'll be my back four: Calaflori, Timber, then Saliba, Gabriel, Raya in goal. Midfield 3 for me is very simple. Partey, play this guy in the midfield, keep him in the midfield. This guy's unbelievable. Most important player when he's fully fit in the midfield. Declan Rice in left 8. Odegaard in front of them. Front 3 for me. 1 year, he's got to start. Has to start. Off the bench against Man City scores. This guy's got to start. 1 year on the right. Trossard on the left and leading the line down the middle. He won't do this, but Gabriel Martinelli down the middle. We're going to need that pace in behind. We're going to need them runs in behind. Martinelli down the middle. It's going to be most likely Kai Havertz, by the way, but this is what I would do. So that'll be my team there, guys. Let me know your guys' team down below as well. Let's get into the score prediction. Is Arsenal going to turn it around, guys? Are we going to turn it around or not? Well, I've gone with, unfortunately, people, I've gone with this. I've gone with a 2-1 win, meaning that we scored 2 goals, but Newcastle score as well, meaning that they progress to the final and they beat and they win 3-2 an aggregate, guys. I really want to be optimistic. I really want to be confident. I really want to be positive, but I just don't see it, people. I just think the damage was done in the first leg. The damage was done in the first leg where we didn't do enough, where it was awful in the first leg. I think away at home is going to be very hard to keep a clean sheet. Away at Newcastle, we'll win the game, but it just won't be enough, people, unfortunately. I really want to be positive. I really want Arsenal to turn it around, man. It'd be a fantastic comeback. But I just don't see it happening, people. So that's my prediction there. Make sure you guys get your thoughts down below. We're now going to move over to Carl to give his thoughts. Stay tuned for what he's got to say, you guys, as well. Big up everyone who tuned in, of course, and make sure you hit like buttons up. Let's move over to Carl to see what, and let's get a Newcastle perspective, Newcastle opposition fan view. So let's move over to him. Big up everyone who watched, and let's see what Carl's got to say.
Hi everybody, it's 100% Mags here, and of course, thanks for having us on the channel once again, Josh. I've got to say, going into this game against yourselves at St James's Park, of course, we're coming into this one with a 2-0 lead from the game down at the Emirates earlier on in the season. And of course, we're coming into this with every chance of making that final on the 16th of March, of course, at Wembley against either Tottenham or Liverpool, whoever wins that game. This game, of course, is the 8 o'clock kickoff. But looking at the team news for us Newcastle United fans going into this game, there is team news surrounding Joel Linton, which I'm sure Arsenal fans will probably be a bit happier considering how much Joel Linton can muscle players around. But it is a little bit worrying news for us Newcastle fans. He is a doubt after wearing a knee brace as a precaution following the game against Fulham where he went off. Of course, there was pictures of him with a knee brace on at the training ground. But Eddie Howe has said that they will assess the fitness of Joe Linton before the game. So who knows, he might be able to play yet. I don't guarantee it though, however, because it didn't look great, to be honest. And if I was Eddie Howe, I wouldn't want to risk playing Joe Linton in this game. We've got other options there that we can go with, the likes of Lewis Miley, maybe he's off the bench. Joe Willock is there as well. It is a little bit of an annoying factor that Joe Linton has picked up this knock, but he could still play yet. We'll only find out, of course, when them team lineups come out tomorrow night before the game. Callum Wilson has had, of course, a change to his future, but decision will be made after the final training session, of course, and he could, of course, be available for this game. But again, he hasn't really played much game time for Newcastle, Callum Wilson, so I don't really see him, getting in there straight away. To be honest, I wouldn't want to play him in there straight away. So he would probably be just on the bench at the bare minimum. Newcastle, of course, with a midfield depth with Joe Willock, Longstaff and Lewis Miley all available. So like I just said, one of them three will probably be in there instead of Joe Linton, in my opinion. Kelly, of course, departed. Kelly departed, of course, on deadline day to Juventus, completing the loan move there with an obligation to buy for £20 million. I've got to say, I'm quite, happy with that. At the end of the day, he came in 6 months ago, on a free, and now we've gotten rid of him for £20 million. It's a good deal. He's moving on, and he hasn't really done much for Newcastle United in that 6 months. So, it's a good deal for us, good deal for Juventus, because they're getting a player, that is probably going to play a lot more game time for them than he did for us. But looking at it, Howe's emphasised that Newcastle must stay focused. We must, keep positive going into this game. There's a lot of people, not myself, but a lot of people out there that are feeling a little nervous going into it. I've seen some Arsenal fans feeling a little nervous going into this game as well. But I'm, hopeful that we can come away from this one. At the end of the day, all we need to do is score one more goal. That makes Arsenal have to score, 4 goals in the game. So the ball's in our court. At the end of the day, the ball is in our court. We score 1 goal. Arsenal then have to score 4, to even have a chance to be back into it. So if we score early, we hit hard, hit fast, Newcastle can come away from this one with the, route through to the final on 16th of March against Liverpool or Spurs, whoever wins that game. If I had to choose one of them teams to take on, I've said it already, I would love to take on Liverpool. Beating Liverpool would be the team, but why not? Let's have a somewhat easier game. We've had to take on Man United when we reached the final last time out, so why not this time? Let's hope for an easier one in Spurs at Wembley, because this will be the second time Newcastle have reached a final if we can beat Arsenal, in 3 seasons. It's just, when you look at it from that perspective, it's such a great achievement. Obviously, we've already got a 2-0 lead on Arsenal, but at the end of the day, come away from St James's Park, we can go to a final down at Wembley, and that is just absolutely amazing to think of. At the end of the day. Anyway, let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. Remember to hit like, share, subscribe to Josh and Luca's channels. Subscribe to mine as well, 100% Mags. You find us on all social medias at 100PCT Mags, or just go to Twitter, hit the link tree, and then all of the socials are on there for where you can find us, TikTok, Instagram, all that stuff. But anyway, thank you for having us on the channel. Until next time, I'll see you all later. We're the lads.